All right, welcome back to the TCG Player Max Point Championship. On the right, we have Ollie and Trazi playing blue-green ramp. On the left, we have John Stern. He's playing four-color rally. And looks like Ollie lost last round, unfortunately. He was at 6-2. And same with John Stern. It seems like they both took a loss. So
Ollie, he's playing with these sweet. What are they called? These planeswalkers.
I don't know. I think they're Comic-Con
Black.
planeswalkers.
Yeah,
I think they're just San Diego Comic-Con planeswalkers.
And it's a little hard to tell because he has Nissa and Jace. That one's clearly Jace because he's tapped 2 mana and cast it.
And he's got blue tints. I've been telling Kenji this the whole time. Like, you can tell because he's got some like blue tint on him.
Yep. And you see John Stern matches his Jace.
Kenji booed from the distance.
It's like a
he does
mirror
not approve.
image.
I think he's just mad because they don't have them on Magic Online, so he never gets a chance to play with them.
Yeah, this is like a mirror image of Jace, except it's through one of those double-sided mirrors.
Yes, it's like one's the evil Jace and one's the good Jace. It's like the classic negative zone.
Well, I'm thinking it's like the Catch the Shoplifters kind of double-sided mirror. Yeah.
See, I'm just thinking it's like the reverse image, like Bizarro to Superman or Negaduck to Darkwing Duck. If for those who catch the Darkwing Duck reference there. Reverse Flash to regular Flash. Grim Harrowspecs to Enlightening Harrowspecs, if that does anything for you. People are Googling, they're like, Enlightened Harrowspecs, what does that do?
Wait, the opposite of Grim is Enlightened?
Well, no. But no one knew that until you said something. Oh, he's going to loot.
And Ali has a morph. He has Den Protector in his deck as a morph.
And Rattleclaw Mystic, so could be anything. Or just one of those 2 cards.
Yeah, it could be anything. It could be, if it's Conley Woods, it could be, should I go there?
I don't know, I want to hear it.
It could be,
could be a boat. It was a Rattleclaw Mystic.
Flying Crane Technique.
And Ollie is parting the Water Veil pretty early.
Yeah, he's just turn 5, right?
He's just making it happen.
It's turn 5 or turn 4?
I believe turn 4. He flipped a Rattleclaw Mystic for the extra 2 mana. So that put him at 6. Jason's going to loot again.
And now he's going to play Nissa's Renewal, it looks like.
Oh, that's real good.
So his deck's really doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Yeah, this is exactly what Ollie wants to be doing.
Pitch the extra Jace.
Gaining 7 life against this deck is also pretty good. Because every increment, like the rally deck, if it's not winning by just 1 swing with an Antuco Husk, like the incremental life loss is usually a pretty powerful component. And for Ollie to just gain 7 life, that's 7 Zulaport Cutthroat triggers.
More importantly, it puts 3 extra lands into play.
The 3 lands are real good.
Which turns on his double land.
It
so
also,
it's kind of like getting 4 mana.
He also has 10 mana on board right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's real good. So pretty much any spell he draws is castable, from Ulamog to Ugin to more Nissa's Renewals.
Yeah, now given that Part the Water Veil essentially acts, well, literally acts as a time walk, essentially acts as speeding up his turn, this is going to be like a turn 5 Ulamog, essentially.
That seems good.
Yeah, so like John Stern's going to have 4 turns, and then he's going to get Ulamogged.
I mean, I feel like if you can play it on turn 4, it's a little more impressive. Turn 5 is kind of eh.
True.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
That's boring.
That's true.
You're like, well, you're right. I can't argue with that.
I mean, here I am trying to cast Wingmate Rock on turn 5. Ollie's like, 5 mana.
Exile both your Wingmate Rocks, nerd.
Yeah.
Keep a 10-10.
Nice white weenie deck, bro.
Oh, bird ya. That's not, I don't think that's the verb he'd use, though, because you're not really birding them, so.
Yeah, well, we kind of are birding them.
We're birding them.
We're watching them,
But if he Ulamog, you know what? We're just going to move on.
Just accept it, Frank.
You know what, Craig? I accept a lot from you. That week in, week out, I'm going to get a White Weenie article. It's consistent. You're very consistent, which I appreciate.
Here's a Catacomb Sifter, which will potentially do some really cool things for John Stern. It allows him to draw cards with Grim Harrowspecs while scrying with the Sifter.
Well, unfortunately, the token is not going to get him a card, though. Grim Harrowspecs doesn't like him sacrificing tokens.
Okay. But assuming his creatures die at some point.
Yeah. And I think it's sad because that's what the rally deck really wants them to do. They're basically, these creatures are just meant to die, which is a real dark existence, I think.
Well, he is progressing his board the way his deck is intended to. Ali is also progressing his board the way his deck is supposed to. So these decks are kind of both doing the thing that they do.
Yeah.
Now it's interesting to see which thing that's done is more powerful.
Well, without a sack outlet, I think Ollie's ahead here.
Yeah, well, Ali also has an Ugin, which exiles, which...
Oh my god. But the Catacomb Sifter is colorless.
Yeah.
That guy sticks around, but that's not that. And he gets to flip a Jace. So he can just negative Catacomb Sifter, play Ugin, exile everything else. I guess Jace would exile too. That's not what you really want. That's sad. Oh, he's going to flash back something. Is that a dig through time? Oh, that's a part of the waterfall that he discarded.
Can he cast it both sides?
Oh my god, he cast it and he awakened the land? This is exactly what we wanted to be seeing.
I'm surprised that he chose the island instead of the Lumbering Falls.
Well, the thing is, like, we actually, this occurred earlier, and if you put on the Lumbering Falls, you can just kill the Lumbering Falls if, you know, John's turn has any sort of removal. Because you actually have to activate the Lumbering Falls to give it the hexproof, so it just makes your Lumbering Falls more vulnerable than it is naturally.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure if that's the correct play against this deck, but I think he's being cautious.
Now, Ugin, the land is colorless.
Yeah.
So he can play Ugin, minus it, leave John's turn with a Catacomb Sifter, and leave himself with a 6/6 land. And he can also hit the
Jace.
hit the Catacomb Sifter.
So he knows Ugin's not going to take any hits this turn. Oh, he's just going to actually part another water veil.
Jeez, is this like Moses over here, just part in the water?
Part in the seas. Oh, that's an excellent name for this deck. We could just call it Part the Seas. Yeah. But I guess they're not seas, they're water veils. But I don't think that's really important. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm going to attack for 12, and then I get another turn after this. He also gets to plus Jace, and then he takes his extra turn, so he could flash something back before playing Ugin, which makes it... He can flash back Nissa's Renewal if he wanted to.
Now, part the water veil... It only exiles itself when you do the animated land. Is that correct?
No, it's once you cast it.
Oh, he discarded it the first time.
He discarded the Jace,
then.
yeah. So it was in the graveyard. That's why the both of them are exiled right now. That would be sick if it only exiled upon awakening, though. Oh man, just start chaining them. Port the Waterville, flush her back. That's probably why they do that now, especially because there's like such an easy way to reanimate or to flashback instants and sorceries. 2 6/6s is pretty good. I feel like that's hard to deal with.
Yeah, it's going to be even harder next turn because Ali gets yet another turn. And he gets to draw a card off the Grim Haruspex after scrying and deciding to keep it there off of the Catacomb Sifter.
And Ali gets to draw another card from his 3rd turn in a row. So not terrible.
And oh, by the way, let's plus Jace.
Unfortunately, once he makes a land of 6/6, he's less inclined to use it for mana, which means he has less mana to work with. So
he only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana?
I think so.
That sucks.
It puts him at a real disadvantage. Stuck being the operative word.
He's like, let's see.
He's like, can I kill you?
Can I activate Lumbering Falls and play Ugin in the same turn?
Oh god, the greed is real. It's not really greed when it's the right thing to do, though, right?
Well, he might Ugin plus it to kill, like, the Catacomb Sifter, I guess.
Jace at 4.
I don't know.
So now John doesn't have any power on board.
Okay.
So Rattleclaw is actually safe to attack with here, and it won't die. I think he's just going to get in there with the 6/6s. Oh, and the old Rattleclaw. And then he's probably just going to play Ugin and see if...
Well, John's at 12.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't chump block with both, he goes to 8. He can just plus Ugin at John and put him to 1.
Yeah,
which shuts off all his fetch lands.
Yeah.
Like, really kind of puts him in a bind.
2 6/6s is pretty good. So you don't often see 2 6/6s in Standard.
So now, with this play, John is going to flip his Jace before combat damage, so it doesn't take the 6 damage.
Sometimes when I get real mad, I just flip my Jace.
Yeah. I'm going to flip the table.
Flip the Jace table. We're done here. We have a good time.
John's like, can I please have another turn? Like, is it my turn yet?
Nah, bro.
I've been waiting for a turn for the past 4 turns. I want Ali's deck to go to time, so that they start on turn 0 and Ali takes all 5 turns.
That would be amazing. Oh, here comes Ugin.
Facing down lethal.
Here comes Dr. Oogie Boogie. That's not his name. Why would you say that?
Me?
That's what people are saying to me, I imagine.
Dr. Oogie Boogie?
Is he negative 2ing?
No.
No, he's plussing to kill the Grim Haruspecs. That seems just fine.
Yeah, at this point it's kind of like, well, what can John possibly do to stay in this game?
Yeah, you can't play both a sacrifice outlet and like something like Rally this turn, so Ollie's pretty safe, I imagine. Plus, John has 1 chump blocker for 2 6/6s, and he's a virtual 3 with Ugin's ability, so...
He could rally at instant speed to block.
Yeah.
To stay alive.
It's true. Staying alive.
Staying alive.
Yeah, that's right. You've heard it here. Yeah, he could do that, I guess. Ollie also has Lumbering Falls, which is worth noting.
Yeah, and it's also unclear what John is going to do the next turn. Like that could allow him to survive 1 turn if he has the rally, but then that doesn't deal with the Ugin or the 6/6s or the active Jace.
Is that an Antuga Husk in John's graveyard underneath the Grim Haruspecs?
Yes.
Okay, so he looted that away with Jace, I presume.
Mm-hmm.
He's also on a 2-turn clock just by Ugin itself. He just goes Ugin, Ugin. So if Ollie draws like apart the Water Veil, John is just dead, right? I don't see a Zulaport Cutthroat.
I think if Ali draws, you know, a Pikachu, John is probably dead.
Okay. It's a fair point. Here comes the Zulaport Cutthroat. Watch. Let's see it. John's like, oh. Looks like a Husk. That is old Nantuki Husk. Nantuki Hauser, MD.
The old Siberian Husky.
That's nice. We got 1 million of them, folks.
Well, he can bounce one of the lands.
Oh, that's so sad. He's like, I'll do this one instead. John pointed to the one on the right. Ollie's like, no, you don't get to choose.
Just let him know what's up.
I want to keep the one in front of Ugin alive. Sidisi's Faithful, surprisingly good draw when Ollie's dealing with Awakened lands. Another Jace. So,
Now he has to target the Rattleclaw here, I think. Because he has to chump block the 6/6. And the Rattleclaw plus the Ugin activation represents lethal. So, I mean, might as well target the Rattleclaw, right?
Yeah, actually correct. I feel like there's got to be a way for Ollie to win this.
I feel like there's got to be several ways for Ollie to win this.
The only problem is the Catacomb Sifter being colorless, which means when Ollie negatives Ugin, he still has a blocker.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, he has the Lumbering Falls, which could put him to 2 at least.
Interesting. Going to 1 here. 1, 2, 3.
He might just be playing with his food too.
Just like, I'll just dangle you a little bit.
Did he target? What did he target?
I don't
Nissa's
know.
Renewal. Well, I'm trying to think what else is in his graveyard. Well,
Yeah, he's gonna. Oh, he just used it so that he can. Yeah, that guy dies.
So he -2.
He might just be doing Nissa's Renewal here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Counting his lands. That's a Nissa.
Yep. And now he can flip it.
That's not bad. Now John has to chump block with Catacomb Sifter.
Yep. Which sets up the rally if he has it.
Still wondering what Ollie flashed back. Flashbacked. Flashback? I don't know where the ED goes on there.
I think it's flashed back.
It is, but the ability itself is called Flashback, so I don't know. It's tricky. Oh, he's activating. Oh, block this guy. Go to 2. Now he's dead to an Ugin. There's the Nissa land. We're going to flip this Nissa. And make an Shaya.
So now Ali has 4 cards on board that kill John's turn next turn.
That is correct. And even if John can muster like a rally ancestors, Ugin just shoots him in the face.
Well, he would have to somehow win with a lethal Nantuko Husk. So he has 2 husks.
This turn.
Right.
And they don't get haste. So he's does have collective company. So he's just
Can he gain life?
Here. I mean, Zulaport Cutthroat, but it's not going to be
enough. He hasn't found one yet. He's trying to find one here.
Yeah, that looked like a whiff. I don't know if there's anything he could actually draw here that would be great. And by draw, I mean hit with collective company. But you got to hold on. You got to keep trying. Oh, and John said, no, I don't. I do not have to do that at all.
So it looks like Adrian and Wesley C in the back are
Just
shuffling up for probably their game too.
They just finished their game as well.
So now in the sideboards.
And if you guys want to head on over to TCG Player, we have everything you could want from Magic content, including deck list, strategy, articles, social media, special promotions, and a weekly newsletter. Craig Wesco here, actually also an author producing articles that you can find every Friday. So head on over to magic.tcgplayer.com and get your Magic fix.
Now out of the sideboards, we have John Stern has Duress. That almost certainly comes in because it hits all of Ali's most powerful
like
cards.
Spells.
And
doesn't hit an Ulamog though.
That's about it. He has Arishan Cleric, Murderous Cut, Dispel, Valorous Stance, Fleshbag Marauder, Merciless Executioner. None of those cards are especially useful against Ali. So just the 2 Duresses are really the only thing that are going to be very important for John. Now, on the other side, from Ali, he has access to Jadi Offshoot, which probably isn't going to help him. Winds of Kalsisma, which...
That's good if he wants to go in for like the Nantuko Husk attack.
Yeah, but it's not going to stop the Cutthroat plan, so we might see those come in, not sure. Dispel, that's a big one. It can counter the rally.
Stratus Dancer is also very good.
Yeah,
can counter
and
Rally
negate.
And Collected Company. So yeah, I think all the counter spells come in.
Yeah. Void Winnower.
I could maybe see it. It counters Collected Company. A
Void
lot of his
Winnower,
2 drops.
Void Winnower only so that Ali can say...
You can't even. You can't even make that joke, is what you can't do.
Well, I mean, you can't even means he can't Collected Company.
Right. Also, a lot of his creatures are 2 mana.
And he can't rally for an even number.
Yes, which leaves him rallying for 5.
So we might see that, depending on how cute he wants to get. But we're almost certainly going to see the counterspell package. Negate, Disdainful Stroke, Dispel.
These guys are sideboarding. We can maybe go to the back table here. We'll see Adrian Sullivan on the left with Dark Jeskai, Wesley C on the right playing Mardu. Mardu or Mordaunt, there is no try. Look at that Soulfire Grandmaster from Adrian Sullivan. This card is incredibly impressive, and it didn't see a lot of play when Khans of Tarkir or Favorite Forge first came out, but it's seeing a lot more now. Like this has been a 4 of in several decks this weekend.
I feel like people have been saying that for quite a while now, and it has always seen quite a lot of play.
That's what you think. What do you know?
That's a good
What
point.
do you know about white creatures, Craig? Come on. Come on.
All right, so Adrian gains a pair of life, gains 4 life total this turn. Attacks Wesley for 2.
Man, I still always forget that it gives your spells lifelink, and then when you gain the life rate, it's just so good. It turns all your spells into lightning helixes.
It's almost like that's what it was intended to do.
Well, I have a feeling it was. That's the feeling I get.
The Crackling Doom is the one that really kind of...
Gain 2.
It's just like...
Sacrifice your guy.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, by the way, I also gain 2.
Oh, yeah, also...
There's a third thing that this Crackling Doom is doing.
Looks like Wesley C has a Mardu Charm in hand. Is that what I saw? I could be incredibly wrong. Yeah, I don't think he has Mardu Charm in there. That's unfortunate.
Might be a Culligan's Command.
Might be a Crackling Doom. Yeah, it's a Crackling Doom. Okay. So we're going to head back over to the first table to see what Ollie and John Stern are up to again.
Looks like he did bring in the Jotty offshoot. That's his turn 1 play.
I mean, every land you play, also it blocks every creature in John Stern's deck, but every land you play negates 1 trigger from Zulaport Cutthroat, which could definitely be relevant over a course of a game.
Yep. It's likely that Ali has played this matchup before, and he knows what's going on. It looks like he has a blue card in his hand, which has to be a counterspell, right? Or a Part the Water Veil.
Or Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Could also be a Cryptic Command.
Could be. Those are possibilities.
I don't have high hopes for them.
It could be a Homarid.
Oh, all right. Could be a Hedron Crab as well.
Did you know there's a Facebook group that's devoted to worshipping Hedron Crab?
I did not. I'm a little less comfortable now that I know that, though.
And it has, like, literally hundreds of members.
That's worse. I like that this, and all the members of the Hedron Crab Facebook group are like, yeah, they mentioned us on coverage. Shout out to the Hedron Crab Facebook group.
They call him Mill Crab.
Oh, well, that's what he is, I guess. I like that you have to feel good when you play a Rattleclaw Mystic and you know it's not going to die.
Do you know what the name of the group is? Church of Mill Crab.
Oh, I could
they're gonna
probably
gain
that.
followers today.
Followers. Oh.
Okay, so we have Jotty offshoot into Rattleclaw Mystic from Ali, and John Stern kind of with a slow start, but turn 2 Jace. Now he's about to start doing stuff.
Or is he?
I think he's gonna do stuff.
We'll see.
Looks like he's got Grimhara specs, which he's doing face up.
If you're John, do you attack with Jace here?
I do not.
Okay, so I was just testing you, but that's a good choice.
Okay.
You passed.
Passed the skill test.
You did. It was rough. It was not an easy test.
Was that a test of my skill or a test of how much credit I'm going to give John Stern?
Yes.
Okay. I have faith that John Stern would also not attack with his Jace.
Well, it's good because he did not.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be like, hey.
I had the read.
Now I don't have to go up to him and be like, hey, Craig thought you were going to attack with Jace on turn 2 or turn 3.
Turn 4, on the other hand.
That's a different story. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
All right, so he's just willing to make this trade.
Interesting.
It's interesting that Ali offers this trade.
I agree.
I mean, Ali, his whole deck is just like, I want to get to 8 to 10 mana. And John's like, I want to keep you from doing that. So now Ali's probably thinking, here's some free damage. There's no way he's trading his Grimhara specs here. And John Stern's like, there's no way I'm not.
And it's interesting to see John actually looted before the trade so that his Jace deliberately wouldn't flip.
Yeah.
So that actually says something about the value of
and then he
having
forgets to untap it. Pro player John Stern.
But he just used it. So it's probably still fresh in his mind. He's like, no, there's no way I get to use this again on my turn. It's still tapped, though.
He's just
cracking a fetch,
using
that's
again.
why. What? But why did he untap?
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on right now.
I'm confused why that Jace is still tapped.
I am too, actually. Still.
Is there a way we could, like, you know, ask Brian Coel, why is it tapped?
Okay, he's literally moved it, so, and it would have flipped this turn if he activated it because he had 5 cards before cracking the Windstorm.
Like
Oh, it's the Cascade, the Skyline Cascade.
Okay, that's why it was.
Ah,
right, that's what was confusing.
That card does not see enough play for me to have caught that one. Man.
Nothing gets by us except a Cascade.
Except for a basic land in Battle for
Cascade.
Zendikar that sees play in this deck only.
A basic land? It's a common land.
Did I say a basic land?
Yeah,
I meant
not a basic
I meant a common land. Basic and common, that's the same thing.
All right, now Jason taps. I'm glad I at least got the pro player John Stern dagger in there.
So, but see, the nice thing is that, yeah, you're like pro player John Stern.
Pro player Craig Wesco.
Hall of Fame, or pro Tour champion Craig Wesco. See, and that's the thing, like, that I defend about coverage is that, like, yeah, you're going to miss things, but it's real hard not to miss things every now and then because there's just so much going on. So it feels better when Pro Tour champion Craig Wesco also misses it.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. Yeah.
Kenji yells noobs.
I mean, if it was Whiteland, I would have known exactly what it did. I'd been like, that's why that creature has vigilance.
You're like, if that was a Kapira Crossroads, I would have known exactly why John Stern went up to 18 life. Oh, getting there with these two. He's like block block.
Oh, he is not blocking with his Jace.
Interesting. What does he think he could have? John Stern doesn't have pump spells, right?
Is there a way to like sacrifice deal him?
Does he have a Tarkus command, do you think?
Maybe it's just like his Jace was too tinted that he forgot it had 2 toughness or something.
I thought it was an 0-1. I don't think that's it. That was interesting. I think I would have just double blocked. Also missing something else, unless the white land came into play and gave it +1/+1, in which case I will concede that I did not catch it.
No, I would have been on that, Frank. It didn't happen.
That's fair. That's fair. There's a face down. Oh, it's just a Nissa. All right, sounds good. Ollie with infinite San Diego Comic-Con Planeswalkers.
Must be nice.
Yeah. Ollie,
Swimming in foils.
Ollie, Baller, and Trazi over here.
Comic-Con Planeswalkers. We need to get that man a raise.
I feel like he has it already. I feel like that's the cause for this.
Do we pay him in TCG player credit?
Yes,
Just like
yeah.
orders all of our Comic-Con Planeswalkers and foils.
We actually pay him in just foils. Every article gets him 1 foil. So after 60, he can get a deck.
Is his paycheck all like blacked out in foil?
Yes.
Well, now Jace looks like it's finally going to flip. Now that there's about 10 cards in the graveyard. And now he can flash back. He has a bunch of fetch lands and Jace and a
You can't flash
Grim
back fetch lands,
Haruspex.
Greg.
Yeah. I don't see any card he can flash back.
Yeah,
but
he's just going to plus
he
that
probably
guy.
has a rally in his hand.
They always do. Still no sack outlet. Do we have a husk in the graveyard? Oh, look at this. Look at this super aggressive attack here.
I mean, what else are his creatures going to do?
Ollie's at 22. That's pretty healthy.
Yeah, he's been working out.
I feel like he's in good shape if he's able to untap play like Nissa's Renewal or something.
Mm-hmm.
It flips Nissa, gains him a bunch of life, gains him 10 life actually if that Jotty Offsuit survives. That's pretty sweet.
So how many cards are in his graveyard?
Looks like just 2.
Is that it? Just the Rattleclaw in the forest?
Yeah, he hasn't played any other spells this game, and he hasn't activated this Jace.
Okay.
Except for last turn, so now he's going to. Whoop.
Old Merfolk Looter.
That is another Planeswalker. Looks like
Which
he's got
one?
a couple Part the Water Veils in hand. Oh, he can part and then play another land and then play Nissa?
Yeah, it's interesting how effective Part the Water Veil has been for Ali. He has to have the second blue though, right? He has to have an island.
That's correct.
And it looks like
There's
his
a Lumbering
second blue
Falls.
is tapped.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
So he's not going to be parting any seas this turn.
I think you just play this Rattleclaw face down. That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Whoop.
And he gained a life off of the Lumbering Falls. Puts him up to, I guess, 17.
If Brian Kowal is doing his job, I imagine that is correct.
Now I think that what John's just trying to do here is put enough creatures on the boards where he could just start like drawing cards off of the Grim Haruspex. So just like have this guy die, draw a card, have this guy die, draw a card, and he's able to scry twice and draw. So whatever he's looking for,
And deal
he's
incremental
eventually
damage
going
with
to find.
the Cutthroat.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Craig is pretty safe to block the Cutthroat here. You know, he's not blocking with his 2/2 Nissa, which is interesting.
I think Ali is also safe to block.
What did I say?
Craig.
Did I say Craig? That's weird. I mean, you're safe to block too, though. That's just...
Yeah. I don't plan on taking any damage from the booth.
Well, you never know. Stranger things have happened.
Now, interestingly enough, Ali's creatures are pretty good blockers in this scenario because, well, he kills the Zulaport Cutthroat, but nothing else dies.
It seems like he's holding this back just because he doesn't want to trade any creatures. He just wants them to have all these stupid creatures on board.
Because
so
then
no draws, no scries, no triggers.
Exactly.
Which is pretty good.
Which is what you want, and that's why the offshoot is so good in this matchup, I guess.
It's unfortunate that when you awaken a part of the Water Veil, it doesn't also make the island unblockable. That seems like it'd be good, right?
Yeah, I think they needed to add that.
It feels like it's not good enough, right?
Well, I mean, it might not be. It only sees play in Ali's deck, I guess.
For now.
Yep.
For now. See how I said it again for emphasis.
You're saying there's already so much text on the card. It would be like fine print, be like Ice Cauldron, trying to figure out what the card does.
Don't look at Ice Cauldron if you guys have not seen an Ice Cauldron. It is not pleasant. You'll stop playing You'll just give up on Magic. You're like, I can't believe this is a thing. All right, Ollie getting to untap is pretty good, I think, here. He can start awakening part the Water Veil. 1, 2, 3.
Awakening it?
Yeah, that's the mechanic, right? I'm not going crazy. No, I mean, no, not this turn, but he's definitely getting close. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he can awaken it this turn, actually, because Rattleclaw flips up for 4, and it gives him triple blue. So he pays 2 to flip a Rattleclaw, which gives him 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, he has 9 mana. Now he has 10. Although the only problem is that Johnston has infinite blockers. And you don't want any of them to die, really. Oh, the ground is so gummed up here is really the issue.
So which one is this? It was the Nissa that just flipped.
Can you imagine how good an Ugin would be at this point right now? How many Ugins does Ollie have here? It looks like...
Well, John has double Catacomb Sifter.
There's 3 in the main deck.
Scion.
Yeah, but I think once you're able to exile everything else from the ground, like, that's real good. All right, there's one. So Ollie has 1 turn in the queue. Yeah, it looks like he's taking it.
Taking it in stride.
Take that turn in stride, buddy. These are some big guys. 6'6", 4'4". Potentially another 6'6", depending on how things go. Man, that Jace still hasn't flipped yet. That's crazy.
Looks like it's about to.
Was that a Nissa's Renewal? What was that card he just drew?
Yes. Looks like a...
No, that's a dig
foil.
through time. Oof.
Now it is, yeah.
Oof.
If I could dig through time.
If I could part the water veil. That was a combination of both cards.
Is that what that was?
I love these like disapproving glares from Kenji in the background. Oh, fantastic! It's a good time we're having here.
Something's staying tapped.
Forever, hopefully. Forever.
Grimhara Specs. Now, I have a frowny face die that I use for times like this, where I'm like, oh, this Haruspex isn't untapping.
So
Frowny face die to remember.
I remember your frowny face die. We would roll them to see who goes first, and you're like the happiest person goes first.
Happiest face. Yep. Angry's the worst.
So, what did Craig play this turn? Did he awake?
Craig didn't play anything.
God, I keep saying Craig. Why do I keep saying Craig?
Do you know someone named Craig?
No, I don't know anyone named Craig, which is the weird part. Craig's kind of a silly name, right?
It is.
Why do I don't even know why I keep saying that name.
So
anyway, what did Ollie play anything this turn yet? What did he use his mana on? Did he awaken a Part the Water Veil number dose? He only has 1/6/6, so he might have just he just hard cast it. So or cast it without awaken rather.
Hard cast
Hard
means without 9 mana.
Yes,
No, did he add more counters to the? Oh no, that's a 6. Okay.
There's also untapping, so yeah. All right, Nissa's Pilgrimage. There's 2 active Planeswalkers, a 6/6, and a 4/4. That's actually not terrible.
So I always confuse these two, Timmy and Johnny. There's Timmy, Johnny, and Spike.
Yes.
Spike likes to play the little like tournament like edge you out decks, and one of them is a combo player. One of them's like a big player. Timmy and Johnny. I think Johnny's the combo player.
Timmy is the fun player, right? Like the casual kitchen table guy.
Yeah, Timmy likes big monsters. So
Okay.
Ali is a Timmy, right? Timmy.
Yes, if that helps. Oh, getting those 3 islands. So he gains another 3 from Jotty Offshoot and 7 from Nissa's Renewal. So he gains 10 from that Nissa's Renewal. That's pretty good. And he also has Dig Through Time in hand, so he can probably Dig Through Time now.
If he wants to.
If he wants to, yeah. He can even wait till end of John's turn. I think if he gets an Ugin, he's in very, very good shape, I believe. I mean, like you said, he still has Catacomb Sifters, but like to be able to clear the board to start getting damage through is very, very relevant.
He loses his own Planeswalkers too, though.
Well, that's sad. That's an unfortunate. That's a cost of war, Craig.
Even though it looks like they don't have color on them because they're black, there's like all blackened out.
Black is the absence of color.
I mean, like, you can't see color on the card, but it's like they are colored.
Maybe you can't. I'm sorry for your poor vision.
Look, man, I don't know what's going on. There's no white cards on the battlefield.
That's true.
Give me a break.
Oh, man. But there's 1 planes right in the front there.
There is. I like how you used your nerd voice for that.
But look at that planes. It's right in the front of his creatures.
Oh, my pocket protector was in the way.
He's probably going to tap it for a magical spell in a minute. Oh, here comes a dig. We're getting a dig. And it just turns out Wesley C. actually won against Adrian Sullivan on the back table, 2-0. So that's Mardu over
Jeskai Black.
Over Jeskai Black with Adrian Sullivan. Mardu's crushing this weekend. Seth Manfield was X1 yesterday with his Mardu.
There's
deck.
a collected company. So John, what's John looking for here?
I mean, it's always Husk, right? Because once you can start sacrificing things and drawing cards, you get to start cycling through your deck.
That was a quick Catacomb Sifter Elvish Visionary, which leads me to believe it was a 2 out of 6. Those were the only
choices. Yeah. Like you can tell by the speed when they have no.
It's not like here I got it, found the 2 that I wanted. Don't even have to think about this.
A dispel for a Dig Through Time. That is brutal.
Nice.
John's like, nah, ain't happening.
I wonder why he collected company in response there. What was he trying to find?
I think he did a main phase.
Oh, okay. And then
he collected company main phase, and then Ollie went to dig, and then John played Dispel. Okay. And at that point, John still had collected company on the battlefield.
Yeah. So they both brought in Dispel to stop the dig through time from Ali.
Oh, there's a Denny.
And to stop the rally.
There's
from John.
Old Denny. Now he's gonna flip it, I bet. Here's a manifest. Well, I'm flipping it right this second, so. Whoop. And what do you get here? Is Dig Through Time the only card in there from the Delving? It might be. I think it is. Whoop. Yep. All right. So he's like, I'm still going to dig. Oh, God. He'd have to, like, he has to use all of his mana to play dig. That's real rough.
Rough life.
I mean, it just leaves, I feel like it leaves Ollie a little susceptible to John having a million creatures.
I mean, is he looking for untapped blue source Dispel? Well, there's the Ugin.
Yeah, you definitely take the Ugin here, I think. 100%.
Definitely, you think 100%?
I think definitely you probably take it 100% of the time.
Maybe 100% wouldn't think twice.
Except for occasionally, sometimes.
Yeah, it looks like he's taking Ugin and what was the other card?
Well, it might be Part the Water Veil. I saw Part the Water Veil in there, and I feel like if he gets Ugin, Part the Water Veil, it's pretty good. I think that's, yeah, it looks like a blue card in the back. So if Ollie gets to survive this turn and untaps, I feel like he's in good shape. Three
John,
Catacomb Sifters is
it
kinda
doesn't look
annoying,
like John's really been doing a whole lot. Like he collected accompanied
Yeah.
into two kind of, not super relevant cards. Now, okay, so on his upkeep, he is sacrificing the Scion token, so he gets to scry. So he's scry for this Scion. And he's deciding, because he's got 2 more Scion scries. Scry for the second Scion after you put on the bottom. Do I put this one on the top or the bottom? I will leave that one on top, and then I'll draw it for my draw step. So now John has access to 5 mana. What's John looking for?
I feel like the one piece he's missing is a sacrifice outlet. I keep saying it, but I think it's like without being able to get that extra reach from Zulapar Cutthroat or Grim Haruspex drawing him in extra cards or scrying, like that. Those are the key components to this deck, and why it's an aristocrats based deck is because the biggest engine this deck has is sacrificing its creatures to all the triggers.
Yeah.
And it looks like Jace is on 26. That's pretty high. He could ultimate that guy 3 times.
I'm sure that's exactly what that means.
What else could it possibly mean, Craig? Yeah, I think Ollie definitely wants to take out one of the Catacomb Sifters if his plan
Probably
is...
going to block the Cutthroat with the 4/4.
You think so? Because I'd want to exile the Cutthroat with Ugin next turn.
Okay.
I feel like you'd want to kill Catacomb Sifters if your plan is to negative Ugin.
Yeah, in general, unless that's your plan, like what you're talking about.
Yeah, you want to get it off the board, but
Yeah.
I think he's just going to Ugin and try to exile all the colored permanents.
Yep.
It's weird that Ugin and the Eldrazi are friends like that. Ugin's like, yo, I got you guys. You can
Yeah,
hang
but
out.
wasn't he intended to get rid of the Eldrazi?
I think he did.
Storyline?
Didn't he? Wasn't he? Didn't
I don't know how. I
Well,
mean,
Ugin's
3
a
damage
powerful
doesn't kill
wizard.
them.
The
They're
funny thing is Ollie would probably know. He's huge into magic lore.
Yeah.
Sometimes you talk about it on our podcast. Actually, quite frequently. It's actually sweet. I like magic lore too, so.
There's a card in Ice Age called Forgotten Lore. There's also Goblin Lore.
That's a little trivia for you. It's like, well, that's just wonderful, Craig. Tell me more about lore cards.
There's Hyalopterus Lemur, which is kind of like a Loris.
That's, oh boy, we're real reaching here.
There are many creatures in Magic that have reach. Back before they called it reach, it was just creatures can block creatures with flying.
I feel like you're the David Attenborough of Magic right now.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh man. Today, yes, Kenji just did a David Attenborough impression. It was wonderful.
Today on the TCG Player Championships.
that was not as good.
Well, there's the Nantuko Husk.
That's what he's looking for.
Now what's he gonna do? Is this gonna be it?
We already attacked this turn.
I went scry, draw, scry. And they left the husk on top.
Ollie's making some hand motions.
It's like, bro, I got this. You can't sack 22 guys.
Well, he can sacrifice everything relevant in
Yeah,
response to the
that's
Ugin.
the problem, because like, yeah, the Ugin is going to come down and get rid of everything, and now he gets a million triggers from being able to sacrifice them all. Yeah,
he will exile the Jace though.
So you can actually see how big that Nantuko Husk was for this turn. Like, without the Nantuko Husk, everything gets exiled. Rally gets worse. All the triggers don't happen, but now they do. Everything happens. So he gets to scry a bunch, draw a bunch of cards, and all the creatures go in the graveyard for
He
the
does not have a
rallies.
counterspell, right? He can flashback the dig through time.
What's that? What does that do though? Oh, you mean for like rally? Yeah.
He has 13, 14 mana, including the 6/6.
It's always disconcerting when the ramp guy is tapping counting his mana. See, and this is the thing where like if Ollie did have Ulamog, he could Ulamog the Nantuko Husk and be like Jace. All right, Skyline Cascade is a 6/6. Ollie has one turn in the queue. Ollie was telling me earlier that he was playing his match and he part the water veiled, and then he forgot to take his second turn. And his opponent was like, all right, so he untapped, drew his card, played his turn, and Ollie was like, wait, I had another turn. And so it's always funny when people like when players like that make mistakes, but then people are like, oh man, you were totally cheating because you got an advantage out of it. But then I'm like, Ollie makes mistakes that people make mistakes that don't benefit themselves
He's
all
a
the
Timmy.
time.
He's just trying to have fun.
But no one catches
He's
that.
like, I just wanted to cast the part the water veil. I didn't
Yeah, I
realize
don't care
I got
about
to
the
untap
turn.
Yeah, like
I just wanted a 6/6 in my land. So Nissa's Pilgrimage getting 2 lands for him. And he's at 30. Like the life gain from Jotty Offshoot this game has been incredible. It's pretty comfortable. Pretty comfortable life total here.
Make this run happy. That's good. If I pilgrimage, I get one. If I want target, can I choose not to have this tapped and go to my hand instead?
Oh, he's like, it's a forest. It's a forest. I don't know what they're discussing right now. Probably if Ollie played a land this turn or not.
The first one has to come.
so. I'm wondering if Ali, instead of just casting the time walk, if he plays the Ugin. Okay, so he has to play the time walk first, I guess. So he's just getting an
'cause-
extra activation out of his
yeah.
planeswalkers.
This is getting pretty high. She's gonna be at 6.
Oh,
this
there's
turn.
double Ugin. Is that going to do anything for him? So
Doesn't-
John's at
Oh.
18.
Yes. Free land from Anissa.
Double land, too. If he's casting a colorless spell.
And that was actually time in the round. I think they have an extension. Do we know how much extra time that this match had? They have 3 minutes extra,
And Ali's up a game, so
which is not a terrible amount. And
again, that thing might come up where we have
Yeah.
5 turns and Ali might take all 5.
or Ollie might just like win this game because or it might just win by default because he's up a game here. And I haven't noticed any slow play. Like it doesn't feel like any player is taking an incredible amount of time.
Well, they're all doing like 7 things per turn.
Right, exactly. Oh man, having to get rid of your Nissa when it's on 6 is very hard.
So I get 3 scries, a draw, and a drain for each one.
This might also be a draw. Like if John's turn ends up winning this game, like
3 scries, a draw, and a drain.
John's like, yeah, you lose your planeswalkers. It's like, oh.
Scry 3, then draw.
Oh, he's responding to the activation is what's happening first. He's going to have a lot of responses, I think.
I would imagine so.
Okay, same thing. 3.
They're counting some number of triggers.
It's a lot.
I think that's what that die on 2 represents. Is that the amount of life that's being drained?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think that's
So
how
that
many
they just
creatures that have
record it
been
all at
sacked.
the end?
Sacrifice this.
And John's just going to scry through basically, what's essentially his whole deck. So he like finds whatever card he wants and just leaves it there. He's still scrying to the bottom.
Do you think John forgot that the Catacomb Sifters aren't going to be exiled from Ugin?
No, he just has a rally in his hand, and he's going to lose his husk as his sack outlet. And so he's just trying to get rid of him now.
I wish we knew what was in Ollie's hand a little better, because then we could tell if he has like a dig through time or a way to get a dispel of some sort, because that puts him in really good position here.
It's not 6.
Especially
I
because
don't
he still
think
gets
it
to
does.
attack with both of his lands this turn. And John has no blockers now.
Drain, draw.
So we're sacking that guy. Well, Zulprokato's gone, so 6 looks like the amount of life that's going to be...
And he got rid of all of his creatures. So he's going to at least be able to attack for 12, but it looks like he drained for 6. So
Oh,
John's at 29.
The scary part here is that John could very easily have drawn a Dispel and a Rally. So you rally for 3 and then play Dispel, and you have the exact mana to do that.
Yeah.
He's counting his deck right now. How many cards can I draw if I do rally and have to draw a million cards?
Because the Haruspex is not a May.
Yes. And I was like, I'll just count your graveyard. I'm actually gonna look up, make sure Haruspex is not a May. I don't believe it is.
Looks like he has 13 creatures in his graveyard.
That's a lot.
Maybe multiples are. Is 1 or 2 Haruspex? I think it's just 1. No, I think
No, it just says draw a card. It is
2
not a May
Haruspex.
ability.
That's why. That's why it's relevant, because he has 2 Grim Haruspex. I think they're just like, all right, let's just separate the creatures. We both know what's going on.
Yeah, like you don't have to. We don't have to have. We can have 2 separate graveyards in this specific
Yeah.
situation.
Which you're allowed to do in Standard. You're not allowed to do in Legacy. You can't rearrange the graveyard in Legacy. Is that correct?
Yes, because it's time has been called in this match as well. So, yeah, in Legacy, the graveyard order matters because it's of cards like Nether Shadow or whatever.
Now these creatures are not in play, right? He's just looking at them. Yeah. So they will be in play next turn when he casts Rally, though.
Oh, dig through time.
Wait, I already made that joke.
I already made the dig.
He's looking for a Dispel here.
I would imagine so.
6.
Oh, there it is. That is 1.
Whoop, there it is.
He put that right in the
Whoop,
top. He's like,
there
that's
it
what we
is.
wanted.
Unfortunately, John Stern has like 15 cards in hand, so.
He might not have it though. I have to assume he has it, but there could
He might not.
So I assume John is going to be turn 1. And then Ollie would be turn 2, and then it would end on John's turn. So right now, as long as these guys are playing at a reasonable pace of play, it should be fine. But there's no longer time in the round. These guys are in turns. He's like, this is the only one I'm keeping for sure.
Not a read at all to John Stern.
Yes, he has no idea what that could be. It's probably, he's like, John's like, I wonder if it's a Radical Mystic.
Is it a counterspell?
Well, the other one is. Really? There's no better card than a Radical Mystic in there, huh?
All right, Ali. I'm going to have to ask you to make a decision.
He said that one.
He's just like really going back and forth about that.
Oh, he kept a Planeswalker, which is fine. He's like, let's hope it's good enough.
Oh, he's tapping
Oh, he's
them
just going
both.
to play a Jace.
Wow. Oh, he still has the untapped
He still has
6/6.
the Skyline Cascade, yeah. Do you think it's better to just attack for 12 there and then use the Lumbering Falls? I feel like that would have been...
Well, if John's at 24,
That's 2 attacks.
yeah. Which I think this is a camera coverage taboo that's against the rules now, is to have your graveyard look like it's on the battlefield.
Yeah, it's very weird. I'm personally not a fan of it.
Yeah,
Because
but
it's very convoluted.
regardless of what the rules allow, this is what they're doing. Those creatures are all in John Stern's graveyard, not on the battlefield.
Oh man, here we go.
He's casting Rally, though, attempting to put them all onto the battlefield. And Ali is going to tap a 6/6 to add a blue mana. It's like a creature from Legends.
It just went to the graveyard.
Whoa!
If that resolved, that's huge.
John did not find a counterspell.
He might not have been expecting the Dispel there. A Jacefin's Prodigy, that's not really great here.
No. Wow.
I mean, if John has another rally, though, it's still real good. Like,
Well, I mean, like, he gets to flip the Jace if it lives, and then he gets to cast the Rally from his graveyard.
so this is why I feel like Ollie should have just attacked last turn. I don't know why he didn't attack last turn.
Well, he wanted to play his own Jace.
That doesn't seem better than... Like, because he can't flip his Jace. It doesn't seem better than just attacking. Like, it puts him on a 2-turn clock. He might just be able to win this turn if he had attacked for 12 and then 12 again.
Are we sure we have the life totals correct at 24? 24 to 19?
Rashad's going to check right now.
Now
There's
this
a
is
Nissa.
Nissa. And he's choosing not to search. And now he flips it.
Is it a May? Like, you don't have to find.
Is he out of forest?
Yeah, you may search.
It's at 24 to 19 right now. Totals are right.
Yeah, the players do have 24 to 19 as far as life totals go.
Money.
There's a lot of lands for Ollie here.
You almost did.
I
again.
did. I caught myself.
My mom does it too. My brother's name is Clark, and whenever she refers to him, it's Clark. Whenever it's me, it's Clareg. Like catches herself halfway through.
Hey, Clark. Maybe I'm just making up for all the times your mom almost called you something else. Now I'm calling other people you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is that a blighted fen or a blighted cataract rather?
Are you offended, or
I
do
am-
you just have cataracts?
I clearly do because I got the land wrong. Ollie does have one blighted cataract in his list, so that is definitely what it is, and he just drew with it. I think he's digging for the second dispel. Oh, that's a part the water veil though. He can get in there
Oh.
for 6.
It's
Shoot
coming
with
up. It's
Ugin.
coming up. This is turn 2, right? So turn 3, 4, 5. So he could take the initiative, right? So giving John Stern only one more turn.
Part the water veil. Attack you for 6, put you to 18. I think that's just game. Ollie attacks for 12.
Does he
has Lumbering
Ugin?
Falls and Ugin for 3. That's exactly 18. 6, 6, 3, and 3. Oh, that's a sick win. I don't necessarily agree with missing the 12 damage in favor of the Jace, but John Stern is tapped out. 18
Well,
life.
I mean, the Jace found him the second part the water veil, right?
I don't disagree with you, but he wouldn't have needed it because he would have actually won on the turn after Dispel.
Yeah, but he'd have less fun by casting one fewer time
See,
walk, Frank.
That I'll agree with. If that's your argument, then I will 100% support
Ollie
that.
didn't show up here to not have fun.
Yeah, he showed
He's
up.
like,
he's
"Look,
parting
guys,
the water veils, bro.
I'm X3. I'm on camera. I'm gonna have me some fun. There's nothing wrong with that.
Ollie, we're in turns, buddy. John Stern is tapped out. I want you to just win this game.
Wave to the
Oh,
camera.
there it is. That was what a fantastic win there. And in turns, Ollie takes 2 of the 5 turns, and he gets a high five there.